What's up everyone, it's Coach Austin coming to you from Hyper Strength and Conditioning here in San Jose, California. Today I'm going to be talking about what I've learned going to therapy for over a year. 3 things that I've learned. All right, number 1, negative self-talk is fucking real. Number 2, boundaries. It's okay to set boundaries. It leads me to number 3, because people pleasing is a thing. And I'm going to go more over that in this video. So if you've been struggling with, your mindset, if you've been thinking about going into therapy, especially as a guy, as a man, because it doesn't really get talked much about it. Listen to my journey, listen to what I done and what I went through. I'm not sponsored in any way, but I went through BetterHelp. That's where I started, and it's gonna take time to find a therapist that you click with. It's like finding a coach, finding a trainer, finding someone that you vibe with, finding someone who you feel comfortable and you understand, that feels like that sees you and hears you. That's the biggest thing. And once you find a therapist that clicks with you, it's solid. So yeah, it's negative self-talk. That's number 1. That's one thing I learned, because it takes a while. I was, especially when you start therapy, you're very closed up. You don't know, like, what am I gonna do? It's like that scene with Billy Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. So what is it? What is negative self-talk? Well, it's basically just talking shit to yourself all the time. When we do that all the time, we do that. And for me personally, I'm not speaking for everyone because I know I'm saying we, but for me personally, I said that a lot. Every little accomplishment was belittled by we did this, we accomplished this, but we should have went undefeated. We won that game, but we should have won last game too. We should have been undefeated. If we beat this team, we should have beat that team when I coached football. Going in on, signing up clients for the gym or seeing results, that client would have done better if I programmed them this way. But we have to get out of that mindset. For me personally, so negative self-talk was a thing, and my therapist helped me kind of get that out of myself. Even taking compliments was one of my things. She was like, you need to take compliments better. That's one of your homeworks. When someone gives you a compliment, you accept it. Don't give an excuse to why you would receive that compliment. Oh wow, you look like you're losing weight. Oh, it's because of these clothes. No, just say thank you. Oh my God, your haircut looks good, or it's because I went to this specific barber, which, true, but at the same time, it's take the compliment, thank you. That's one of the biggest things. So if you find yourself, negative self-talk is a thing. It prevents us from taking action and moving forward with some of the things that we want to do in life. We're overthinking, we're doing too much, we're thinking too much of ourselves, we hesitate, we have anxiety, we get anxious, we don't want to fuck up, and even if we do, we expect too much out of ourselves. We have to be kinder to ourselves. That's one of my sayings, because I say that a lot in my content, my videos, on TikTok, Instagram, all that shit, because it's something that I need to drill down myself. So if I keep saying it, if I keep, verbalizing it and saying it into the universe, saying it into the world, it's gonna help me and remind me to be consistent with being kinder to myself. So that's number 1. That's what I learned, is negative self-talk. And that was a root of all my anxiety, all my comparison. You're doubting yourself all the time. Comparison is a thief of joy. It's oh, you're not as good. And social media definitely amplifies this. You're not alone if you feel that way. So that's the one thing. Number 2 is boundaries. Setting boundaries with people that, and it goes ahead, and I should have put people pleasing as number 2, but boundaries is a big thing. For me, it was oh, I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to, I didn't really set a time of no, I can't do that. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. I don't have time for this. This is my time for me. I have set hours. This is when I'm at work. This is when I'm at home. This is when it's me time, and don't fucking bother me. It's okay to do that. And that's where I came in, because number 3 was big one, people pleasing. I wanted to take care of everyone. I want to take care of my staff. I want to take care of my friends. I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my wife. Above all, I wanted to take care of people, no matter what detriment it is to my health. And if you look back at my videos, if you go to my other channel, Hyper Strength and Conditioning, you'll see in some of the later videos, I was kind of a little puffier, because I was going through so much stress. And a lot of videos pre-pandemic, it was just a lot of stress, a lot of still trying to figure out our business model, still trying to figure out what's clicking and what's not, and how retention and training programs, and how to push a brand and build a business and all that stuff. And it just all comes into me my health up. I was a big people pleaser. So when I identified that, boundaries was my next priority of setting boundaries. I had a lot of people who wanted time, wanted to talk. I had people who wanted to be hey, I have no plans. Let's go hang out. Let's go. What are you doing today? It's yo, man, no, No. That's not my time doesn't revolve around other people. All right, your time revolves around you. One of the biggest things I got is like when people call you. One of the biggest things is when people text you and they're like, how come you don't text me back? You gotta set boundaries, dude. Like, no. And I'm guilty of that. Like I get so excited. I talk to someone and I'm like, hey man, and they don't respond for like a day, and I'm like, oh okay, I'll take the silence as a yes, or I'll take the silence as a no, and I'm bad with that. Like I'll admit that, and I have to be aware of that. But on top of there's people who really just like, I've worked with bosses where they're like, if I text you, you gotta text within a minute. Like it's important. It's important. It's like, no. Are you paying for my phone? If you're paying for my phone, then all right, fair game. If it's a business phone, I'm on business hours, fair point on that. But when it's my time and it's my phone and it's my convenience. So if you text me something, it's not urgent, and I identify it's not urgent for what I'm doing, especially when it's my me time, then I will identify it later, and that is okay. I don't care if you disagree with me. That's how you set boundaries, and you'll notice people don't like it. There's people who just don't understand the concept of boundaries, and they're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? You're like selfish with your time or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm selfish with my time. Yeah, I need this for me. And you'll know like people who respect, they're like, oh, that's cool, man. I'll get back to you later. Or yeah, just get back to me whenever you can. And they genuinely mean it. And you want to be around those more people who respect your time. Because when you start setting boundaries, the people who like want to always like feed off your energy, feed off your time, and come on, Austin, or come on, you, they'll start like going away. They'll also be like, well, Austin's not cool or whatever they're gonna talk. You can't let that bother you, because you gotta be happy for you. You gotta set boundaries. That's it. And I'll get back to you when I can. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry. Well, that's just how it is. Bonus material. On top of that was like identifying a lot of triggers. You'll start understanding why you react to things. Like, I don't like how that person said something, or I don't understand why that person is saying it like that. That's stupid. Or why are they insinuating this when I meant this? It's a lot of stories you're like telling yourself a lot of stories, because when it's like placed in reality, like, did they really say that? Did they really say that to you? You got a reality check. Another big thing I learned is reality check. So I owe 4 things. So reality checking was a big thing. Like, is it valid, or am I just telling myself stories because I'm perceiving it in that way, because I'm getting triggered by something that happened to me in the past that I don't even know about, but it's something in me that's getting triggered because of that person's actions. That was like a big thing. And there's so many examples. There's so many, like, when I was little, when I was younger, we would always be late to theaters, so we'd always get the outside seating. I always wanted to get the middle seats in theaters. Like, back before reserved seating, you had to show up early, you had to wait in line, or else, and my family was notorious about coming to the movies late, and we'd get like the crap seats. Not the crap seat, but like, yeah, it wasn't the most ideal seats. It would be on the edges. So, being an adult, especially when I first started dating my girlfriend, now my wife, we had to be the first in line. Especially when Marvel movies came out, first in line. First in line. If we weren't among the first 5 people in line, I would throw a fit. Like, it was bad. And I was like, why? And that's why reserved seating is a godsend. But even my wife was like, why the f are you tripping? But it's because it's like, well, when I was little, this is what happened, and I'm just kind of paranoid. Like, I want my middle seat. It got to the point where a family would come in, and we got there early, and they would come in late, and then they're like a family of 4, and there's 3 seats, and then 1 seat on the other side of my wife. And they'd be like, oh, can you scoot over so we can have space here? I'm like, no, you came late. I'm not moving. I picked this seat. Yeah, you start addressing issues like that. You're like, why is this guy being such an asshole? And it's like, no, man, you don't understand. So yeah, and then you start having empathy for a lot of people. That's the number 5. Man, there's like 2 more things on top of this, but empathy was a big one when you're going through therapy. You start learning more empathy for others, and you start understanding why people kind of react the way they do. You get a little bit more patient. So that's that. That's what I learned about myself, and general things that I added on top of that. But it was a great journey. I have more clarity. I'm more calm. Something triggers me, I know like the steps to take to kind of chill the fuck out. And that's what you learn. And you basically get a better control of your mind and yourself, so you can be more present, be more in the moment, and understand how to maneuver and react to things as they come your way, especially the last 2 years, guys. It's been rough. So hope this helps. If you want more of coaching and mindset and fun this is my personal channel. My name is Austin Toloza. Please subscribe. I'm doing this thing where I'm just trying to grow this channel, man. I'm just trying to grow this channel. Shameless plug, dude. I'm just trying to grow this channel because I'm very passionate about, building businesses, building coaches, and just talking about, things that I do and anime and Marvel stuff. I have another channel that's more gym dedicated and workouts and all that, but this is more of like my passion projects and stuff that I'm going through. And if you want to follow my journey, feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of educational content too, of coaching business and and just talking about real shit like this. So if this helps you, if you felt like this helped you, give me a like, give me a subscription, share this with someone you feel like who need it. And thank you again. This is Coach Austin from Hyper Strength and Conditioning, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.